Hi guys, just going to try a little. I'm loading luggage at the moment, as you can see. Passengers are loading. I'm going to do a little flight, see if I can do a very short flight from London Heathrow to Gatwick. See how we go on that. It's not quite light yet. English weather, it doesn't get light till 10 o'clock in the morning. But we'll see where we go with it. Okay, so I'm carrying about 62, 70. I'm looking for another 74 items of cargo. Passengers, what have we got? Let's have a look for the passengers. On the plane, there's the passenger cabin. Alright, they're all boarding still. I thought I'd try some flights around Europe for a change to see for a bit of different scenery. I've just come from the Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. Crew will tell me when it's fully loaded. I'll just check on the. There we go. I wanted to check on the cargo being loaded. That's a different little program I've got here. This one's got is a little buggy. Occasionally, when I land at an airport with it, it will suddenly decide that I've just done an aborted takeoff and goes spastic on me. So we'll see how we go on this trip. Maybe they'll fix it with an update. I don't know. We'll see. I do have a debugging window, which I will have a look at later. We've got 30 of the 80 items we're waiting on. Passengers so far, we're expecting 100 passengers. I've got 63 on board so far. There's 54 seating, only 8 with the seatbelts on, 6 with the seatbelts on at the moment, 7, 8. As it counts up, as they come on board, of course the count will keep going up. I've got a little program this because it tells me exactly what's going on. It tells me how many passengers I've got, who they are. I go into the passenger cabin, I can see who my passengers are. $78 on board. Still waiting on some cargo. The other program I've got that loads passengers is a bit buggy on me too. It won't recognise Gold Coast Airport, and I like to do short flights between Brisbane and the Gold Coast, but I have to use this loading program to do it because the other one won't recognise. I'm still writing a piece of code that might get us around it. I don't know. I thought I did actually get it working last week, and then I had to reinstall some software. It's gone off again. So
all passengers are now on board.
Passengers are now on board.
We're just waiting on the report from ground. Once they've been on board, giving that to us.
So we're waiting on the ground report. Another 20 items of cargo. Another 20 items of cargo to go on board. We can close the door for the passengers. Normally when I'm on the external of the plane I can't hear. I've probably put it that I can. Just let me check the settings here. Voices. I'm just trying to have a look. Normally when you're outside the aircraft you shouldn't be able to hear anything. Obviously there's a mute button in here somewhere. Here we go, mute while in external view. Oh, it doesn't do it in this program. It's in the other two programs it does it in. Oh well, never mind. We can put up with their noise. Seatbelt on sign. We've got 5 more items we're waiting from of 4 and we can get on our way. 2 items left. We should get a report from the ground crew. Cargo loading complete. Let's go down here. Okay. Now I need to put some lights on. There we go.
Heathrow clearance delivery Qantas 320 Heavy ready to copy I-4 clearance to Gatwick.
Which way do I need to go? We better push back to the right, I guess. Go to ground services. Come on.
Qantas 320 Heavy cleared to Gatwick Airport as pilot. Take off runway 27 right, climb and maintain 2,000 feet. Departure on 129.025 squawk 574.
Oh, shut up, I want ground services, please.
Qantas 320 Heavy readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.905 when ready to taxi.
Right, push back to the right.
Heathrow ground, Qantas 320 Heavy requesting pushback.
Yes, I am. Push back to the right.
Heavy pushback request accepted.
Steer to the right.
Heathrow ground, Qantas 320 Heavy requesting pushback to steer the aircraft to the right. Qantas 320 Heavy, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
What time of day is it? Oh, it's only 7. Yeah, like typical English weather. Let's bring it up a bit. Give it a bit more daylight. Sometimes in England in the winter it doesn't get daylight till 10 o'clock in the morning and it's dark again by 2 in the afternoon. That was the one thing I didn't like about Britain. Close my mail program, it keeps sending me mail. That's not good when you're recording.
Heathrow ground, Qantas 320 Heavy requesting the end of pushback.
Okay.
Qantas 320 Heavy request to end pushback received.
Cabin music is playing.
Heathrow ground, Qantas 320 Heavy within the ready to taxi I-4. Qantas 320 Heavy taxi to a hold short at runway 27 right using taxiway Lima 56 Alpha Bravo Lima 21 Alpha Alpha 3 Alpha 2 Alpha 1. Contact tower on 118.70 when ready.
On my other program, the cabin crew voices are much better.
Taxiing hold short runway 27 right by taxiway Lima 56 Alpha Bravo Lima 21 Alpha
It's a
Alpha
toss-up.
3 Alpha 2 Alpha 1 Qantas 320 Heavy.
Motors are winding up. Do the takeoff myself when we get to the runway, I suppose. Yeah, scruffy this morning. I haven't even combed my hair this morning yet. I've been busy. Nothing unusual. Seatbelt sign is on. Okay. Well, I won't be getting any meals on this flight. It shouldn't last for very long. The reason I set this flight up is because I've got a little Cessna Citation jet, and I was hoping it would let me carry 6 or 8 passengers, so I did a little bit of a run around. But it's not in my program there, so I can't load it, which is a shame. I'm looking for a small one. I could probably fly the little twin engine one I've got there, flight with the propellers. I could probably do. I don't know. Or the Beechcraft, no idea. I shall have to have a look. There are a few big jets hanging around this airport you can see on the way out. I'll give you an outside view so you can have a look around. Some Qantas over there, I don't know what that one is. Big generic, but it's a huge jet, whatever it is. Another Qantas there with its lights flashing, he's ready to go somewhere. Oh, there's a Jetstar over there. Sun's coming up. It's a bit annoying. We might make it a bit later. Oh, much better. Move the sun out of the way. Plenty of Qantas and Jetstar. One there for United Airlines. I think I was going to put some KLM in, but I haven't seen any yet. Probably when I reboot the program they'll come up. Somebody asked me if I wanted to fly United, and I said no, I don't think so. Holding hands will do for me. Less trouble, hold hands. Don't want to be United on an airplane. It's certainly a big airport. I just did a flight from Charles de Gaulle in Paris to here, and I think the taxiway was about 15-17 kilometres long. Awfully long. Took me ages. I think the passengers were ready to cancel the flight before we got to the runway. So far, my passengers are 96% satisfied. We never get 100%. Got 100 on board, 100 seated and 100 with their seatbelts on, which is really good. Luggage, yeah, 80 items, 1,040 kilograms loaded. I like this program because it gives you the option of loading cargo as well. The other one only loads passengers. And we're going to 09 left. Still got 1.5 nautical miles to go before we get to the runway. It's the trouble with these big airports. I'll check out Gatwick when I get there. I've got fond memories of Gatwick. I had a crash landing in real life there once. In a force 10 gale. We skidded off the end of the runway. What a mess. Fortunately nobody lost their lives. That was Dan Air Services. That was the airline with the outside toilets. What's that? Oh, that's a Jetstar as well. I just think you've got to be crazy, mate, flying around at 30,000 feet inside a little metal tube. Anybody told you in the past, 200 years ago, you were going to be doing that in the future, they'd have said you were mad. Actually, the taxi on this flight is is further than the flight to Gatwick, I think. Plenty of Qantas around, another Qantas over there. I set those up actually. I got sick of looking at generic liveries all over the place on the planes. No planes you could recognise, blues, reds, greens. There was nothing with an airline's name on it, so I fixed it and added a few. The only problem is with those liveries I've put on those planes, they give you a mirror image from one side of the plane. You can read the Qantas on the other side, but it's a backward image on this side, so nothing I can do about that. Microsoft will probably get around to fixing that one of these days. United Airlines. Again, a lot of those. Any others of the three than the three I've mentioned? Any other airline, Spirit or any of those you see on the ground, would have to be probably other players who have landed there. All the Jetstar and the ANSIC ones you've seen are all generic, and the United Airlines. I was going to change that United Airlines for FedEx. I'd like to have a cargo plane actually, but there's none available in the game at the moment. There will be, some are coming up. The only way I can use FedEx is to use the 747, because that's the only livery I've got for FedEx. It's got to be on the 747. I think there's a little small plane I can put FedEx on as well. I'll have to have a look at that. But that'll be a propeller plane, won't be a jet. Trying to mix and match some stuff at the moment. Let's see. Half a nautical mile to go. I might zip us straight to the end of the runway, I think. Let's go back in the cabin for a start. Back in the cockpit. It's a terrible name for a cabin, cockpit. Well, let's have a look. I will go and see what we're going to go. Travel to. Let's go to. Let's travel to the takeoff. Yeah. Save us some of that taxi time anyway. Okay, let's see what I got. Oh, it's going to go on its own, I don't have to. I didn't have the autopilot on, I was going to do it myself. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Put the autopilot back on, otherwise we'll probably end up with a crash. 100, 120, 140, V1.
Gear up.
Yeah, gear up. Get a better look from up here, see what's going on. Left turn, Clyde.
Qantas 320 heavy contact Gatwick approach on 129.025.
As I said, very short flight.
Going to 129.025 Qantas 320 heavy.
I might experiment with some of the smaller planes this morning.
320 heavy ready for IFR departure runway 27 right. Heathrow Tower Qantas 320 heavy ready for IFR departure runway 27 right.
Continuous plan. Altimeter 200.002. Qantas 320 heavy climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
Passengers are screaming. Why are they screaming?
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet Qantas 320.
Because they can see the ground out of the left-hand window, probably. They think, oh, it's so close to the trees. Just pull down a little bit so I can see my speed and altitude. There we go. 250 knots is where I like to be. At 1,600 feet at the moment. Oh no, nearly 2,000 feet. 1,700 feet, 1,800. That won't stay that way, it's got to come down because we'll be landing shortly. Very short flight. Going to play around with some planes and liveries this morning. The only way for me to really put these videos up on YouTube is to condense them down so they're smaller, because I did one yesterday which wasn't a very long one and it was about 22 gigs, so they're awfully hard to pull them down. Yeah, 3,700. Don't know why they put the movie on for them for a short flight like that, but it's on. See what the crew says. They're not on their feet, I don't think. No, they're doing stuff. They're looking after the passengers. Co-pilot took me on a bit of a hairy ride earlier. I thought he was going to hit the ground. He was all over the place, couldn't find, he was having trouble finding the ILS, and he got too low. He got down to about 400 feet above the ground and nowhere near the airport, so I had to pull him out of that, otherwise we'd have been on the ground. One of the things when you're flying these things is you have to be aware of the hills around and the altitude of the hills. Remember the first time with one of the smaller jets, I had the autopilot fly me into a hillside. Crazy. plane ahead. You can see his navigation lights.
Boston Street, 20 heavy, you are 1 mile northwest.
11 miles northwest.
Heading at altitude, expect ILS runway, 8 right approach, mile 1 transition. Clear to Willow.
Maintain present heading at altitude. Expect ILS runway 8 right approach by Willow transition. Clear to Willow Qantas 320 heavy.
So I'm going to have to get all the flying in I can over the next couple of weeks. I think it's the week after next, isn't it? I think on the Tuesday we'll be back in the classroom, I suppose, teaching computers. So that'll slow me down a bit. It's only for 4 hours on a Tuesday. Yeah, a little plane flashing down there. What altitude is there? I don't trust these planes flying around here, I tell you. Because a lot of them are new pilots, so they just got this program and they have no idea what they're doing. I quite often hear traffic control telling them, get back where you're supposed to be at the altitude you're supposed to be at. They're all over the damn place. I had one nearly crashed into me on the runway the other day. It's a bit hairy at times with all these hoo-has about out there. If they did the right thing, and this program has a lot of flying lessons built into it, and if you do the courses, you do the flying lessons, you should know what you're doing. They're not that difficult. There's Gatwick down there. So we're probably going to do a circle. We'll go up to the 4,000 feet mark ahead there, and we'll turn left and we'll do a loop around and land in Gatwick. Yeah, I'm tired this morning. I don't feel like I've slept. Mind you, I'm up in the middle of the night pottering around doing stuff. That's what we do when you get to my age, we potter. I've got my student list already for the week after next. 2 of them I've had before, 2 of them are new. You hear my passengers chatting away in the back. Sometimes you can hear what they're saying. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. Some of the comments. I'm getting thirsty. Excellent flight so far. Beautiful clear sky. Descend to 3,000. Why is the music still on? Why not? Love the engine noise. I wish I could fly regularly. You get some interesting comments from the passengers. What are we turning right for? Okay, we're going to do a sweeping around to the left in here. Flew over Biggin Hill this morning, which is a very old airport site, World War II for the Spitfires. Biggin Hill was a very busy airbase. Hurricanes and Spitfires flying off to try and bring down the German bombers. Yeah, I've got an interesting program coming soon where I'm going to be flying off aircraft carriers. I've had a look at it. It's actually brilliant graphically, and the interior of the aircraft carrier that you can walk around in and have your cabin and everything else when you're not flying is quite incredible. The whole structure of it. And I believe that's a Microsoft product as well. Microsoft's doing very well, of course. They're not designing these themselves. I think they're allied with a company called Aerosoft, and of course, what's the other one? I'm trying to remember. About no, I can't think of the name of it. I will. It'll come. Oh, looks like we're going to go the other way around to it. I thought he was going to do a left loop. It looks like he's doing a right loop. Perhaps they've changed the runway. Or they're just making a circle around for the hell of it. They do that in these busy airports too. I've got no reference points. What's going on? Ah, there we go. Well, there's more. Ah, there we go. That's what I was looking for.
Heading north 1 mile, southwest of Gatwick. Contact Gatwick Tower on 134.23 when inbound.
Tower on 134.23.
Undercarriage is down.
Gatwick Tower, Qantas 320 heavy, 1 miles west inbound, ILS runway 8 right.
Turning onto the glide slope.
Qantas 320 heavy, Gatwick Tower. Cleared ILS runway 8 right approach.
It's red at the moment for a couple of reasons. It's gone blue now. We were too high, that's why. We have to wait to get down to the right altitude. And it'll put us straight into the glide slope. There you go. Straighten up, boy.
Gatwick Tower Airport Zone. X-ray on Foxtrot, Kilo 3, 8 miles, east inbound on at runway 26 right approach.
Airbus go. X-ray
That's good.
Kilo Gatwick Tower. Cleared on at runway 26 right approach.
That's what I like about flying a big jet. It's just so easy to do the landing. Because once you're on the glide slope and you're lined up, there's nothing left to do. You just sit there and ride it down to the runway. It'll stay there. It'll stay on course. In fact, I've got control of it now. I just let it take us down to the runway. It's got a gradual descent. It'll call them out as we go. Good way to spend a nice, quiet, relaxing afternoon. I felt like a bit of a sleep yesterday, so I sent my co-pilot to fly from Sydney to Adelaide without me, and I went and had a bit of a sleep. Came back and landed the plane. Everybody was happy.
Cleared to land runway 8 right, Qantas 320 heavy.
We've got clearance to land on 8 right. The English countryside, huh? Nice and green. Should be the amount of rain they get. Fields of wheat and barley down there. Some little trees. I remember I went to Sherwood Forest once before I left England. Oh, that was many, many years ago. And I was very disappointed with what they'd done to Sherwood Forest. There was only about a dozen trees left inside a little circular fence. Just chopped the whole forest down. So it wasn't big enough for Robin Hood to hide in, that was for sure. Here we come. What have we got on the ground down here? A couple of farmhouses, a couple of mosques probably. 500 feet. Now I'm just wondering if this loading program is going to go spastic again when I hit the runway this time. I don't like it because we're getting close to the ground. Nice smooth landing for them, that'll shut them up. Fill the bump. Yeah, go on, take that bloody taxiway. There you go, thank you. He didn't want to. Where's he gone? I better put my feet in the pedals. To the other taxiway now, okay. I'll let him do what he wants to do. Should have gone up the first one. That's alright. Never rely on a computer to do anything. Do it yourself. That's easy, it's only half a nautical mile, not even that, to the gate this time, so that's not too bad.
Going to 121.80 Qantas 320 heaven.
That's unless they change us to another gate, which can happen. They'll pull up just past this line and ask for directions. Some more Qantas planes over there.
Gatwick ground, Qantas 320 heavy request taxi to the gate.
Qantas 320 heavy taxi to gate D5 via taxiway cross runway 26 right Charlie Juliet with SQL.
Taxi into gate 85 using taxiway cross runway 26 right Charlie Juliet Quebec Kilo Qantas 320 heavy.
Some of these taxiways are a mouthful, I tell you. I'm glad I used the automatic radio comms because I couldn't be bothered reciting all that crap. Sometimes it takes him 5 minutes to tell you which way to go. Come on mate, wind it up. Oh yeah, only 22. I can see it. There it is. It's the gate. We have to go all the way around. Gate 85. Gatwick's a pretty big airport as well. I want to see if I can put FedEx livery on one of the small twin engine planes. Stick another 8 gig of RAM in it next week. It's got plenty, but I'd just like to be on the safe side. I've had the odd occasion when the program is locked up on me. It doesn't happen very often, because with Windows what I can do if I have it not in full screen, I have it in windowed mode, I can pull down like this a little bit, pull it down a bit, see? And I can use my program here, like that, to save me some RAM. Give me some RAM back. There you go, 2.1 gig of RAM. Just giving me back. Hey, I just noticed something. I didn't get the glitch today. It hasn't marked me down as aborting takeoff. That's a first. That's pleasing to know. Looks like Qantas's new base. The new Qantas planes around. Qantastic. See if he'll give me a gate when I get over there. Let's pull down. No, that's camera. I didn't want that. I'm talking to other planes as well, not just me. Come on, give me ground services. Thank you. If he'll give me the walkway jetway connection. Just move that across here a little bit more. Jetway clearance. I'm going to do the first stop, I will.
Gatwick ground, set to go. Foxtrot, Juliet, Foxtrot, with call ready to taxi IFR.
Set to go. Foxtrot, Juliet, Foxtrot, taxi to and hold short of runway 26 right using taxiway Echo Juliet Charlie.
Come on.
Contact tower on 134.23 when ready.
Bit too much talking sometimes. There we go.
Gatwick ground, Qantas 320 Heavy, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
There we go.
Qantas 320 Heavy, the jetway is going to be connected.
Heavy, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Qantas 320 Heavy, we can't connect the jetway to the aircraft. Please retry later.
Gatwick ground, Qantas 320 Heavy, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Qantas 320 Heavy, the jetway is going to be connected.
On the main battery.
Captain, I'll go, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the crew I ask that you please direct your attention to the monitors above as we review the emergency procedures. There are 6 emergency exits on this aircraft. Take a minute to locate the exit closest to you. Note that the nearest exit may be behind you. Count the number of rows to this exit. Should the cabin experience sudden pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from the cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat.
Supposed to be
Place the mask
deboarding.
around the nose, like this.
Anyway,
Pull the strap to tighten it. If you are traveling with children, make sure that the strap is not used before you load your children. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing and evacuation, leave your carry-on items behind. Life rafts located below your seats and emergency lighting will lead you to your closest exit and slide. We ask that you make sure that all carry-on luggage is stowed
I'll
away
leave that
safely
where
during
it
the
is.
flight. While we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety data card in the seat pocket in front of you.